Alright, now I know what you're thinking. How, after the magnificent dungeon design that we experienced prior to this in Diadem, could they possibly top it? And I'm here to tell you that while they did not quite find a way, they did their damnedest.
They really went after that pinnacle of game design that was blindly aiming the lasers at the clouds.
The Vanguard is in Diadem, sir. They've seized the continent's nerve center. I think they're setting up to promochinate everything.
Can you stop them?
I'll try, sir.
We are also finally taking a moment to phone home and be like, hey, shit's fucked.
Situation over here.
I know, sir, but I can't just...
There's a whole thing and everything.
Take over Diadem.
You're right. Well, it's in your hands. But don't neglect to contact me if anything happens.
Understood.
If I didn't know better, I'd suggest that single line of dialogue was deliberately intended to call out the fact that we haven't contacted him about, situation. There being a situation. Even before we get to what the situation is, you might want to know that there's a situation. Well, whatever.
How do you, you like waiting? Would you consider that to be good dungeon design?
I mean, if there is one thing that I am literally known for, that I have actually established a reputation for talking about in our long history of Let's Plays, it is how much I like when games consume time. It is just the best thing, and I cannot get enough.
That's good. That's excellent, because if so, this dungeon is for you.
Wow. What a treat. Is this entirely to do with the platforming gimmicks, or is this combat as well?
It's primarily related to the wind. Combat's whatever. A lot of the encounters are skippable if you, make even the slightest effort to avoid them on the overworld. It's just that you're gonna get blown around a lot, and it's gonna suck. And if you're in the middle of a wind stream and here comes a shrimp boy running straight down the middle of it, you're in trouble.
Good times. So, how much of this is exactly what I'm imagining?
All of it.
Okay, great. Amazing. Video games. They're good, folks.
So this room here is sort of the central... I really hesitate to call it a puzzle, but that's the direction I'm gonna gesture in.
Yeah, this seems like there's some exploration afoot.
I mean, this is thankfully a very small dungeon, so there's not a whole lot going on, but we do need we need to get a rock from this room.
Yeah, I'm very much picking up a directed graph vibe from this.
Yeah, later on there will be a stream that we can't cross and we have to block. So we need the rock that's in this room to do so.
I mean, do we need the rock, or do we need the fundamental essence of the rock?
Yes.
Cool, great. So yeah, is this gonna be one of those times where it's here's an area that you have to learn the layout of, and are we gonna let you get a good overview of it? No, the fuck we're not. We're gonna make you poke around one tiny bit at a time until you put together a whole mental picture. Is this gonna be the level that we're working at?
This area is quite small, at least. It's only a handful of screens. They're just a pain in the ass to navigate for the pictured reasons.
Yeah. Oh, man. What is even going on? What is with the timing of this? Is it actually like is there a consistent... What is happening?
I don't think so.
Like, I was thinking at least there would be like a set time where it goes for however many seconds and then stops, but like, is it actually varying?
I don't know if I don't think it's like random, but it is definitely semi-random, we'll say.
That sucks. That is bad. I don't like that. Like, what else do you even say at this point? This is...
Anyway, I will spare you the other like 3 times that happened to me. It's great. I love getting pushed directly into those 2 shrimp boys.
Mm-hmm.
Also, that corridor is a trap. If you try to dash across the entire thing, you will run out of stamina like 80% of the way across, and then you will get blown because you will stop and because Sagi will get all tired. It's fantastic.
Game design. Well, I love how it's specifically the Gust boulder, not just like, you know, any other boulder that will work. Like, come on, man. At least put some effort into designing a nice puzzle set piece. You're allowed to have puzzle set pieces. You can design them. They can be good. You can have involved exploration gimmicks.
I feel the need to point out that the last time that this series had a big puzzle-focused dungeon...
The word can is admittedly doing some Olympian weightlifting in that observation, but I stand by it.
The last time that Baten Kaitos tried to have a big puzzle set piece, we got the Tower of Zosma.
I remember. I don't think I'm ever gonna forget. I don't think anyone who has ever played this game doesn't understand this lesson. At least I really hope not. But like, yeah, it can be done. This series has admittedly quite consistently not done it well, and you know, given that, I guess we should be grateful when it just chooses to do nothing. But like, that's game design.
We need you to stay here on watch.
That's what game designers are supposed to do. They're supposed to design stuff.
Shanath, isn't there some way I can stay behind?
No, Hughes. You should know better.
Are you that worried about your baby brother?
Keep out of this, upstart.
Whatever you say. But don't forget, I was the one who got your brother his new toy.
I appreciate the gesture.
That's enough of that. It's time to leave. Nazca, look after things here if you would.
Shanath!
Oh, what a surprise. If it isn't the Quaestor's lapdog.
Explain yourself! Why is pro-machination so important to you? Why do you have to go invading other lands?
Didn't Varys tell you? It's simple. By turning the world to Machina, the Empire can conquer it.
You'll start a war!
I mean, yes, right, yeah, okay.
Don't be so
We are in agreement with the game.
I don't have time to pursue this conversation. Hughes, Valara, Nazca, show our guests a little attention.
Every time I turn around, Ghost Boy, you're sticking your nose where it doesn't belong. It's so unbecoming. You should learn to play with kids your own age before you make the grown-ups mad.
I have bad news about the sanity of the grown-ups.
So, do you remember in the previous game when you would go somewhere and all of a sudden Giacomo and his entire party would be there, and it was just far and away like a massive difficulty spike every single time?
Like, what if you were miserable? Did you think about that?
Because, well, here's this game's equivalent of the Giacomo party fights.
I did get a certain tension upon seeing a save point in the previous room. So there's that to think about, I guess. So, how bad is it?
Well, you just saw Machina Formation, which did almost 800 damage to Gilo.
I did notice that there is a red bar at the top of the screen in a place where there used to be a green bar quite a short amount of time ago.
So yeah, as long as all three of them are alive, they can do that almost any time. So it is in your best interest to kill one of them, and to kill one of them as fast as possible.
Cool. Is this another one of those things where, like, you just have to really hope that they don't just do it constantly?
May my blade be sharp.
Say, there's a certain degree of, like, I don't think they can do it, like, back to back. Or, like, in this case, obviously, Nazca was knocked down, so that would have invalidated it as well. But yes, it happens a lot more frequently than you would really like to see.
Yeah. See, like, this is the thing about difficulty of this kind. Like, you've gotta. It's one thing to have, like, okay, here's the big threatening thing, and your actual task is to manage the big threatening thing, while juggling that with, you know, actually making the numbers go down and up as appropriate. But, like, having random stuff is like almost always bad. Unless you're reasoning with, like, a pool of random things generally. Because you can design a system that has randomness, and you can say, right, you throw out this attack and it can do, like, one of this many random things, and the whole point of that is you have to be ready for any of them. But if you ever have a system where, like, you have to hope that this specific thing randomly happens instead of this other specific thing, and that's what you need to win, then that's not game design.
I mean, the good news is that the game, it is still a relatively rare occurrence. The game does tend to prefer to use their single target finishers rather than the team one. And in this case, we did just knock out Nazca, so the situation is now firmly in hand.
Like, this is pretty much, like, how we got the idea of what a JRPG boss even is. Like, the whole thing was that they were the ones that had the patterns that you were supposed to learn to deal with, whereas the random mobs on the map are the ones who just do whatever. And they can do whatever, but, like, you're not supposed to have, like, specific strategies for dealing with them. The whole point was the bosses were the ones with the patterns, where you had to work with the pattern. And as far as I know, that's pretty much always been true since the beginning of JRPGs. Although there was only so much pattern complexity you could manage in Final Fantasy I, but, you know, the theory's there. All of which said, I haven't actually, you know, obviously done a deep data dive on this game, so, like, maybe I'm wrong and there actually is, like, actual mitigating stuff going on behind the scenes that makes this not as bad as it seems to me based on the description like it is, but I do have some faith in video games.
But yeah, fights like this are ones where like the migraine mirror really shows its worth, because you absolutely do not want these guys taking turns where possible. So
With 3 of them, you can make the number go down 3 times as much.
May my blade be sharp.
We can definitely appreciate that. Also, like, you know, just by virtue of the fact that there's 3 of them, they start out being a major threat, and having a situation where the tactical worth of one thing changes over the course of a fight is that's game design. That's that good old thinky action stuff. What if you had to adapt to circumstances? What then? Anyway, what's the threat profile of, like, any given one of these guys on their own?
oh, they're on their own. None of them are really dangerous. Like, I guess Hughes is the most dangerous of the 3, but it's not like in the last game where even without his help, Giacomo was still quite capable of kicking your shit in if he wanted to.
So it really is like a murder race.
May my blade be sharp.
Like, survive long enough to KO one of them, and then hope that you're in a good enough shape to get back on the steady progress. That, at least, is a theory. It all just hinges on exactly how bullshit their big attack is.
Damn. So careless.
Nazca, get the Machina armor.
Okay.
Don't move.
Soggy, did you get him?
Good work, idiots. Alright, Gabari, there's exactly one guy behind the king. Let's see what you got.
It seems the tables have turned. Now, if you'd all be so kind as to take a step back. Try anything funny and his royal prepubescence dies. Actually, let's just skip that part since there's no reason to keep him alive, really. A dead king suits us just fine.
No, you don't!
What?
Pop! Surembari!
Back off!
Uncle Ram!
The knights have tired him! Never back off! Yeah!
How many times are you gonna shoot that guy?
No! Surembari! No!
Selsica? It's an Umbra.
Why now? Even Malpercio should know there's a time and a place. Has Nesca's armor been deployed?
All I have to do is kill it, right?
That's right. Do what you do best. Valara, Hughes, we're leaving.
Oh no!
Don't tell me, Soggy! Not now!
Well, of all the cutscenes that I've seen in this game, this certainly was one of them.